I'm going to read a folk tale from Russia captured in 1914 called The Fox and the Blackbird. Here's the Blackbird. These are original images from that publication, so they're probably not going to look super clear, but luckily they were digitized for posterity. And I think it's neat to use them as the backdrop. This reading is dedicated to Joseph Miller. Thanks for your support. Here we go. A fox was walking through the forest when he fell into a deep hole, and there he sat and sat, till all at once he began to feel hungry. He started looking around, but he could see nothing. Then he looked up, and there he saw a blackbird in the tree above weaving its nest, and he said, Mr. Blackbird, what are you doing?" And the blackbird answered, "I'm weaving my nest." "What are you weaving your nest for?" asked the fox. "To bring up my children in," answered the blackbird. "But I'm going to eat your children," said the fox. "Don't eat my children," answered the blackbird. "Well, then feed me, I'm hungry," said the fox. At that the blackbird began to fret and to worry. How should he feed the fox? Then he flew off into the village and brought back a chicken for the fox. And the fox ate the chicken, and after a little he said, Mr. Blackbird, you fed me, didn't you?" And the blackbird answered, "Yes." "Well then," said the fox, "give me a drink." At that the blackbird began to fret and to worry. How was he to get the fox a drink? Then he flew off into the village and brought back a little pailful of water for the fox. And the fox had a good drink. And after a little he said, Mr. Blackbird, you fed me, didn't you?" And the blackbird answered, "Yes." "And you got me a drink?" "Yes." "Well then," said the fox, "come and pull me out of the hole." At that the blackbird began to fret and to worry. How could he pull the fox out of the hole? Then he began to gather sticks in the forest and started throwing them into the hole. And he kept throwing them in till he filled the hole. And the fox climbed up on the sticks and out of the hole. And when he had climbed out, he lay down right under the tree. And there he lay. And he said to the blackbird, "Look here, you fed me, didn't you, Mr. Blackbird?" And the blackbird answered, "Yes." "And you got me a drink?" "Yes." "And you pulled me out of the hole?" "Yes." "Well then," said the fox, "now make me laugh." At that the blackbird began to fret and to worry. How should he make the fox laugh? At last he said, "Very well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll fly into the village and you run after me." So they agreed to do that, and the blackbird flew off into the village and perched on the gate of a rich peasant's house, while the fox lay down under the gateway. Then the blackbird began to sing, Mistress, bring a lump of fat. Mistress, bring a lump of fat." And the fox said, "That's fine, let's have it again." So the blackbird began once more, Mistress, bring a lump of fat. Mistress, bring a lump of fat." Suddenly from under the gate a dog said angrily, "Bow wow." And the fox took to his heels and hopped it into the forest as quick as he could. The end. A few things of note. One, there's almost countless folk tales about, the fox and then insert other animal, wolf, bear. In this case, obviously, blackbird. Also, there's no shortage of stories from around the world about a fox on the ground talking to a bird of some kind up in a tree, as you can see here. So today's story definitely fits that kind of subgenre within fox tales. Usually that involves the fox using his wits to make the best of a situation where he can't actually force the bird to do anything, so he's got to trick him. But definitely not always. Sometimes the bird is smart enough to realize he's got all the leverage. Anyway, tales like that can be found in this book here. This is my test printing of my cover for The Fox in Global Folktales. Should be out very soon, thanks to the support of people like Joseph Miller. So thanks again, and thanks to anyone who watched this.